All right, good morning to you all. Welcome to the Krug Show. John Lynch just spoke on KMBR with Murph and Marcus, and we're going to go through that right now. As you can tell, a little under the weather today, but the grind continues. It's a big Thursday down here in Santa Clara. We'll talk to Robert Saleh. We'll talk to Kubiak, probably the starting quarterback. I think that's going to be Mac Jones. We'll talk about that in just a second. In fact, let's just get right into it. John Lynch spoke to Murph and Marcus on KBR in his regular Thursday morning time slot today, and they talked about a bunch of different things. One of the things they talked about is who's going to play quarterback against the Giants on Sunday at MetLife, and it sounds like the Niners are going to give Brock Purdy a chance to show that he can do it this week, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's interesting. They asked him, "Hey, is MetLife's turf going to play a factor in, whether or not Purdy plays?" He's like, "No, that's not going to play a factor," which seems ridiculous since it's considered the most treacherous turf in the league. But my guess, and it's funny, Matt Mayoko came on KBR after Lynch was off and said that he thinks Mac Jones is going to start. I also think Mac Jones is going to start. I just think that, be extra careful with the turf toe. Why? Because you came back too soon last time and you set yourself back. You don't want to have setbacks. Is there any way to proceed with this so there aren't setbacks, I think is the question. And I don't know if the 49ers know if there's a right answer to that. But to me, the more time you give it, the better. And so we'll see. I think Mac Jones is going to be the guy who goes against the Giants on Sunday. Okay, a couple other things. Lynch talked a little bit about Keion White. He said, you know what? We really were focused on getting a defensive lineman. And he said that the organization was aligned, that they had a good process, but when he says aligned, he means the coaches, the analytics people, the front office. He got some references. He called Mike Vrabel. Vrabel explained to him why Keion White has fallen out of the Patriot rotation. Obviously, John was somewhat satisfied by what Vrabel told him. And so they made the trade. They like the player. They think he's got a lot of talent. They like the fact that they have him under contract for this year and next year. So there you go. He says Robert Saleh is really excited. He'll play the big end spot in the Niner defensive line. He's a very versatile player. He can play inside. He can play outside. Then John was asked about, is he open to adding a pass rusher in addition? And he said, we're in a situation where we want somebody who could be here for this year and for next year. And we don't want to trade our draft picks. We want to keep our draft picks. So it doesn't sound like they're going to make a big move. If they're going to make a move, it'll probably be a small move, if any. They're banking on Huff to return soon, and they're hoping that'll be enough. I think that's really it. He talked about Jackson Dart. He said, hey, man, the guy runs around. He makes plays. We're going to have to be ready to defend him. He said Cleve Farrell is excited for his opportunity. He said he could step right in and play. That was one of the things they liked about Farrell, is that he's the kind of player that, since he knows the system, he can step in and, as John says, hunt quarterbacks right away. So he's another versatile player, and he's available to play right away as long as he's had a good practice yesterday. I'll say this, he did come in looking good. He had a very good practice the other day. John was also asked about the Houston game, that Houston totally dominated the 49er defense and the time of possession. And I think Murph asked him, hey, is this life without Bosa? Is this life without Warner? Life without Huff? And John was like, no, we can be better. I mean, we definitely can be better. The bottom line is the Niners had about 5 busts in the last, in that game. You just can't have 5 busted plays. If you have coverage busts, you're talking about 50-yard plays. You can't have those. They had 3, 4, 5 of them. So that was a big part of it. He was asked about the safety play, and he said, we got a good problem in that, we have 4 guys who we think can start. He says Malik is their key cog back there. He thinks Siegel eventually will get his opportunity to get back in there. But right now they're going with some other guys. They're going with Brown, and he says they have a good situation. I think they need to play a whole lot tighter coverage than we saw last week. He said Ben Barch is a really good player. He's had durability issues, but they think maybe he can come back soon. Connor Colby, he says, has helped the 49ers win some games. So they like Barch, and hopefully Barch can get back in there. He said Ricky Pearsall, his PCL injury, he says he's not there yet. He says PCL injuries can linger. And then Murph asked him at the end about Mike Vrabel and having that conversation with him. And, he just said that he loved the fact that Vrabel, he called him Vrabes, shoots straight, and he knows he's an honest guy. And he basically just said, hey, we had a conversation. I think the 49ers, Murph could have even gone further down this road on this conversation. The Niners have added some bad guys. Devondre Campbell was not a good fit. They've added some guys in the past where they weren't great additions to the locker room. And I think that's really what John wants to find out. Hey, is this guy play hard? Is he accountable? Is he going to fit in our room? Is he a good guy? Why did he fall out of your rotation? I think Vrabel basically explained to him that, hey, we got some other guys we wanted to go with, and I think John was satisfied. But that's what happens when you have contacts in the league. You can reach out to guys like Vrabel and say, hey, what's the real deal? Before we make this official, what are we getting here? So I think that was probably smart. I think Keion White probably should help the 49ers. He's not going to be a world beater, but he's going to be a guy that they can use right away, who's athletic, he's got upside, he can play inside, he can play outside. He should help right away, and so should Farrell. And neither of these guys are going to be world beaters, but they need to have more of a presence on their D-line than they had last week in Houston. All right, we should tell you, 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. And of course, thanks to Pig and a Pickle, 2 locations, Emeryville, Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week, from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out, and they do run out. So get there early, get some brisket chili, tell them Krug sent you. Busy Thursday today. We got a lot going on. We've got Salah's going to talk, Kubiak's going to talk. I expect the Niners starting quarterback, probably Mac Jones, is going to talk. Then I'm going to tuck tail, go up to watch my kid play JV football, go Northgate. They moved JV football from Friday to today because of Halloween. I mean, come on. Really? We're moving JV football for Halloween? Unbelievable. But I will get up there for that. And then Matt Barrows is going to join me tonight on Niners Nightly at 6 o'clock. So listen for that on KMBR. So have a great rest of your day. Go Niners. And thanks for watching The Krug Show on YouTube. Little stuffed up, but the grind never ends. Have a good one.